Hey y'all, welcome back to our next Transsexual Sunday with myself, Diana Salameh, also known as Tranny Granny. So y'all know, this is for adults only. Transsexuals discussing their lives to other adults that want to understand. And the turfs out there, you can just go ahead and bite me. Because none of you bother me. If you've got a problem with me, come here. Come and tell me to my face how you feel. Don't just run your middle mouth out here, because it doesn't matter. Because I can guarantee you, you would not have the nerve to say anything to my face. Nobody ever has in the last 50 years ever said anything negative or ugly to my face. They may behind my back. But I can tell you girls, many of your husbands have tried to hit me up through the years. Many of them. Back before there was the internet, there was the telephone. And ever since I lost my weight and divorced my husband, my messenger keeps getting filled up with men wanting to come by and see me, to hang out with me. I know what that means. And I have never, ever messed in any way with any of the men in Noxubee County, Mississippi. The only one I messed with was one I imported here from Germany. Because I liked educated men. I did not like country bumpkins. Never have, never will. I don't plan to ever mess with another man. But you can tell your husbands to leave me alone. Well, it's been pretty hectic here in my store. We're in the process of opening a second location down the road in an antique mall. So we've been trying to get everything together and everything to get ready to start moving in there. We're excited about it. So, I haven't had a lot of time to really think about this transsexual thing. It's just not been something I've had time for. But I have thought about a couple of things this week. I got an invitation to my 50-year class reunion here in Noxubee County, Mississippi. Well, in all these years, I've never gone to any of those reunions. The reason being because I only went to school with these people for 1 year. I didn't know them. Not like the people back in North Carolina where I went to school with them all my life. And I have been invited to come to that reunion in North Carolina next year because I graduated a year early here in Mississippi. I was 17 when I graduated. So I didn't develop a relationship with these people. But they all supported me in my business that I have and the business I have now. All except the girl who's in charge of the reunions. She's never cared much for me. But like I said, we never developed a friendship. We never interacted. I don't remember ever speaking to the girl when I went to school with her. But she's taken it on herself to enlighten people about me. The invitation that came came in my old name. And this is a name that I've not used in 50 years. It's not been my legal name for 50 years. Nobody calls me that name, but she made sure to put it on the invitation. And then it made me remember whenever I was living in Jordan, and the newspaper in Columbus did a Sunday write-up, you know, that spread in the middle of the paper where they have a big thing. They put pictures of me and my husband's wedding and all about my life in the Middle East. So when this same person found out about it, read it, they had to contact the newspaper to say, "You got that wrong. That's not even a woman. That is a man." They said, well, she is a woman, and they didn't have anything to do with retracting or saying anything about it, but they did contact me and told me what they wanted them to do. Well, they decided then to contact a sleaze publication called The Packet, and they printed it. But luckily I was given the opportunity to do a rebuttal, so I got to tell everything I thought about all these bimbos and bubbas and all these things. How they all have their skeletons in their closet. They cheat on their husbands and wives, and they drink and do drugs, and they can do all those kind of things because they were born right. But I could have lived an upstanding, productive life with my head held high, and I'm the one that was in the wrong. Well, I don't see it that way. I can definitely see myself as being better than many of these people because of the trashy dogs' lives that they have lived. So you do need to come to me and think that you can tell me anything, because I know the life I've lived. And if I know you, I probably know the life you've lived too, because people in the South gossip. I hear everything about everybody. There's not many of them that have a clean sheet on nothing. Well, let's finish with that gal. Back in the 90s, there was some things going on in Knoxville County that caused race relation trouble. They were wanting to bring a nuclear dump facility to our county because it's mainly a rural farmland kind of land here. And the black people wanted it to come because they wanted the jobs. But the white people that owned the land, they said, no, it will ruin the land. All that nuclear things will go down into the ground, and it'll be there, making the land worthless. So there was a book written on that. And when the writer came from Atlanta, this same girl that's caused all this trouble, she was having a dinner party with all the people getting ready to have the 20-year class reunion, and how they discussed a certain woman. Laughed out loud about this woman. They intended him to really write some bad things about me, but he didn't. He did mention the facts of my life. He did not mention names, and he was so nice with the way he discussed about how I had been welcomed back into the county and had received extensive awards for my work. They didn't like all that, but they did not know that he was a card-carrying homosexual. Of course, I talked to the man after the book came out. I looked him up. I wanted to know details about all that. He said they had no idea he was gay. So he was definitely not going to do what they wanted him to do with discussing me. So this woman, I would not be afraid to say that she is the ugliest white woman in the state of Mississippi. She's so homely. I wouldn't say she looked like a mule, but she looked like a goat for sure. And she did win awards in school. She was on the beauties, and she was a homecoming queen and head of the cheerleading squad. It wasn't because of her beauty. It was because her family were from the planter class. You know, the rich people that had been rich since slavery days. So of course, since her family was big supporters of the all-white private academy, she had to get awards because her family. But other than that, I'm sure she bought her husband and everything with the money they had, because it wasn't her looks or personality. So I can tell you, genetic-born people can be jealous of trans people, especially ones that are attractive, that will go out with their head held high and say, this is what it is, and I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to be successful, regardless of what you think. But there's always going to be people like her out there. They don't matter. They are the minority. Believe me, I couldn't be successful if it was the majority like that. How could I have won the awards here if everybody felt that way. But she didn't like it. Bite me, bitch. Okay, now. This is short and sweet. I've got things to do, places to go, and people to see. Alrighty. Tranny Granny signing off.